If there are some situations in your life of which you are really afraid, of which you have a lot of respect and you think, well, I would love not to have to go through them, then maybe the following study might be very interesting for you. Because in this study, they took participants who were extremely afraid of leaving the house. They had a so-called agoraphobia, which meant that they were afraid of going to public places because for some people it's because they are afraid of getting a panic attack. Some other people think they might get a heart attack and maybe there is nobody who can help them. And on the other hand, they also fear that somebody could judge them negatively if they have some kind of weakness. But for this study, the participants had to do what they were most afraid of. They were told, well, you have to go for a walk with a therapist. And not only one time, but 10 times. One group was told, well, it's just for diagnostical reasons. We want to see how strong your fear is in order to be able to treat your anxiety later on. The other group was told, well, those 10 walks in which all the participants had to walk as far as they could until the fear, until the anxiety would become too strong and they would say, okay, I cannot go any further. In the other group, they were told, well, in fact, these walks are your therapy. This is your confrontation therapy. This is what is usually also done in CBT. This is where you face your fear, where you will realize that after a while the fear will become less and less. And the results of this study were very interesting. First of all, it could be shown that in comparison to an untreated control condition in which no participant had gone for a walk, the two groups who had faced their fear for 10 times now clearly had much less fear. So once again, it could be shown no matter what the participants were told, if it was just for diagnostical reasons or whether it was for therapeutical reasons, confrontation did work. After the confrontation, the participants had less anxiety. But what was much more interesting was that when again they had to go for a walk, now those participants who had been told that their walks had already been therapeutical, they were now able to walk much longer, in fact, more than 2 times longer than those participants who had been told, well, it's just in order to diagnose your anxiety. So what we learn from these results is that whenever we face our fear, it is really helpful to have this kind of growth mindset. We tell ourselves, well, maybe I don't want to do it, but the more often I do it, the better I become and the less fear I will experience. So if you're struggling with difficult phone calls or giving a speech like I am doing right now, something that in earlier days threatened the hell out of me, and whenever I'm doing it again, like in this moment, I'm telling myself, well, the more I do it, the better I become. But for other people it might be going by an airplane or looking at a spider or touching a spider. And again, for other people it might be like for the participants in this study, going to public places. Whatever it is that is causing your anxiety, it can really help to treat every confrontation, every new encounter as some kind of therapy. And maybe you will realize that in some way you are even looking forward to the next confrontation because you realize it really helps me to develop. I really hope you found this episode helpful, and if you want, we will see you next time.